By the way, speak of the devil, BBC, TV watching makes you obese. He didn't find the one about Alzheimer's, but it says, compare with other sedentary behaviors, sitting on your butt, TV watching is associated with lower resting metabolic rate. So you have a lower metabolic rate watching TV than you do sitting in a chair doing nothing, reading a book. Why? I'll answer that question when we get back. God bless you, sir. I'll tell you why. Watching TV, this is government study, gives you a lower metabolic rate than sitting still reading a book. Why? The answer when we get back. Stay with us. We Googled television watching Alzheimer's. 4,700 articles came up. Here's just one of the brain and cognition from a major university. The relationships between television viewing in midlife and the development of Alzheimer's disease in a case-controlled study. And this is, again, a major international study conducted by a whole bunch of universities in coordination. Now, I had to go in there and help them Google that. What they pulled up was something totally separate, but I can speak to that as well. TV watching makes you obese. BBC. Google that. You can go read it right now. Scientists have come up with proof that watching television can be bad for your health. It increases diabetes, obesity, all this. And it says, Dr. Who said he was not surprised that watching television seems to have such a powerful effect. Compared with other sedentary behaviors, like reading a book, TV watching is associated with lower resting metabolic rate. Okay, now, why is that? Well, we have studies on that, and we know exactly why that happens. Because of the wavelength and the flicker rate, on average, it takes about 45 minutes for an adult, even less for a child, to first become hypnotized by television. Once that happens, it takes a matter of seconds. You ever caught yourself, hours go by, you're drooling watching TV? It puts you into a lower brain wave, into a sleeping mode. Now, for some reason, video games, long play video game, where you focus, the added concentration brings you into a near-death state of oxygen narcosis. They don't know why, but the brain stops delivering oxygen, and you begin simulated death. Oh, don't believe me? Google it. Don't believe me, Paul? Google it. Hundreds of studies on that. People, that's why they're dying playing video games. And they know all of this because they actually tune the television screens to the most devastating wavelengths. Got a friend high up in the UT psychology department gave me a tour one time. Half of the thing was all about just flicker rates. They got these monkeys with wires in their heads, and they implant them, and they've got flickering screens. The Pentagon's funding it, DARPA, just how to control the monkey, and that testing is for you, how to devastate, how to militarily hard hit you. You're under military attack, ladies and gentlemen. You need to understand that. This is highly compartmentalized and not even classified. Hey, you can just laugh at me all day if you want. This is how a human's supposed to act. You yell and scream about your football team losing or winning. I yell and scream about discovering this. But here it is, ladies and gentlemen. A study from 2005, and there are hundreds of them. You can go read them all for yourself right now if you care. Okay, let's go ahead now and go to your calls. Stephen in New York. I'm going to give each of you about a minute because I want to get to everybody. Stephen, go ahead.
I'd like to get your opinion on some info I remembered about Pakistan, the situation there. First, I remember when the Marriott in Islamabad was bombed, and Zardawi was giving a speech, and I was like seeing that he was smirking. I didn't even take that into account. And then I read a story some months after that. It was the commander of CENTCOM, Petraeus. He was talking to some ambassador. It was an AP story, and they were just grinning like it was nothing. And
well, remember about a month
about that story about Syria, and they were doing renditions inside with the Syrians. And then there was a story. It was like 2 months ago about the Syrians. They were having an agreement to do something. I think it was bombings. And then after that, you remember the story. U.S. had tacit deal with the Pakistani government to do the drone airstrikes.
Yes.
And then I'm just thinking, it just seems very strange.
No, that's what the Pakistani
at a level it seems just staged. You know, just like Hitler and World War II and all the other wars.
Yeah, the Pakistani government is saying that their intelligence agencies are run by the U.S., not our government, people that control us, and that they have staged the attack on India as a pretext for the main government to be overthrown by Pakistani intelligence controlled by the West.
Yes, but it seems like at a level, whatever is going to happen in Pakistan, it seems like both sides are owned by the same team as always, but...
Absolutely. Great points. Good to hear from you. Wish we could talk for an hour. Ian in Texas, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex. How's it going? Thanks.
Good.
Hey, yeah, I heard you talking about open carry earlier. I just wanted to call in and talk about that. I actually started the petition here in Texas about a year ago.
Yeah, we need Vermont-style carry, no classes, no nothing. You know, the Second Amendment's in force, crime rates implode, accidents implode. We need citizens carrying firearms now.
Exactly. I mean, we can't let our Second Amendment be ignored. And
yeah, they turn a right into a privilege, and a privilege is something that can be revoked.
Exactly. The state makes us jump through all these loopholes.
A license is an authorization to do something that would be illegal.
Yeah, it's a right, not a permission.
That's right.
Or and I've been getting a lot of support with OpenCarry.org, and we raised over $10,000, get all these billboards up and everything. And,
hey, you know what, Trey? Let's get this guy on. I'm going to put you on hold. And we're going to get your name and number. By the way, before I forget, I want to get Lindsey Williams back on this week. I had a bunch of brainstorm about guests I want on and then never told you. Here it is, Perspectives. This is your brain on video games. This is out of CNET News. Scientists are adding fresh fuel to the debate over video games and violence. And, and it goes into the brain going into the oxygen state. Okay. Let's go ahead and take another call here. Let's get his name and number. I've heard about what you're doing, Ian, so I want to have you on. Peter in California, you're on the air. Welcome.
Hey, Alex, you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I don't think you realize that Posse Comitatus was violated at the Ronald Reagan Library 2 days before President's Day, 1993, where the Secret Service and MI5 had secured the area, and the Simi Valley Fire Department just rolled up and said, well, we have authority, we're gonna roll through and stuff. There was really no need for them to roll through, but...
Well, Posse Comitatus, the 1878 law barring military engaging in law enforcement actions, has been systematically eroded covertly, but now Secretary of Defense Gates has openly announced they're abolishing the National Guard and federalizing it under Northcom. They're going to station regular Army for law enforcement activities on the streets of every city in the United States. CBS News, Associated Press last week.
Well, what happened is this fire truck started to roll forward to go through, and with that, MI5 pulled an automatic weapon on the Simi Valley Fire Department. That's a fire.
Well, they use Russians, MI6, and Israelis and French, source Newsweek, to kill the Davidians when they firebombed that place in 1993. So, yes, foreign troops can come take part in this action, but citizens are slaves. Great point. I'm moving fast to get into everybody here. Mark in Florida, you're on the air worldwide.
Hi, Alex. Good to talk with you again. The thing I'm interested in hearing about is secrecy in government.
Compartmentalization.
What role do you think, as an ongoing thing, that secrecy should play in government, since it's obviously been so abused by the National Security Act? And
1947.
Hello, Alex?
Well, I mean, we've gone way past that now to answer your question. Now they've transferred more than 2/3 of intelligence gathering against the American people to private corporations and mercenary groups that are violating the Fourth Amendment. And so, yes, the national security state operating with total anonymity, unlimited funding, bringing in the drugs, is now just taking the whole country over. Go ahead.
Now, we're all human beings, Alex. We all have our secrets and our private lives, and we want to be able to be private. And, these apparently, from what I've been listening on your program and just from my own life experiences as well, people like to get into things like secret societies where they think that they have the code and everything. Do you think that anybody in a secret society should be in government? I just think this is an ongoing thing that would be very interesting to hear about systematically in discussion.
We need to debate that further. I believe in free association. And it's very dangerous the tyranny it would take to stop people being in secret societies and government would be probably greater than the tyranny they're bringing forward. But I am for exposing them, resisting it, and when they engage in corruption or in mafia tactics, that's a secret society, then they should be brought to justice. Excellent question. Again, I just respect all your calls. I'm sorry I'm going so quick, but I want to get to everybody. Chuck in North Carolina, you're on the air worldwide. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex, your homeschooling material for me, my wife, and my 2 daughters. Just want to say one thing I have a problem with is the Jim Morrisons and that type of thing on the show throughout the week. Wish we could keep it to Merle Haggard and some other better music besides that point.
Well, we do play some classical music, but Trey's in there with his music playing. I like a lot of I like the way it sounds.
It's just the ones that profess to be into Satan and stuff and like that, and I know you're not part of that, Alex. I love you. Like I'm saying, just anyways, I wish we could get rid of the Jim Morrisons and stuff like that. Anyways, North Carolina's talking about putting toll roads on I-77. Georgia's putting toll roads on I-85.
They're seizing our main infrastructure and bringing in total tyranny. Ah, man, folks, I only covered just the tip of the iceberg, the thin veneer. There's thousands of other points I can make. So many things that are going on I want to warn you about. Understand this, I'm not making any of it up. All I do is research this. All I do when I go to sleep is dream about this stuff. I eat, drink, and sleep it. It's diabolical. We've got to come together. We've got to stop it. I'll see you on the web at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Now get out there and take on the tyranny. Stand up for human liberty.
It's